At our church women's retreat, my sister confessed everything. Every October for the past 6 years, the women of Living Waters Church went on retreat. 3 days in the mountains, 200 women. Away from families, jobs, responsibilities. Just us. Worshipping. Praying. Being vulnerable. Being real. The theme for October 2024 was Breaking Chains. Freedom through Truth. Pastor Michelle planned sessions on unforgiveness, hidden pain, secret sins, broken relationships. She told us the first night, this retreat is about breakthrough, about bringing darkness into light so God can heal us. I brought my church sister Vanessa. We'd been close for 4 years. Met when she joined Living Waters in 2020. Both of us were in the praise dance ministry. Both loved worship. Both in our early 30s navigating life and faith. We clicked immediately. Within months, we were inseparable. She was at my apartment 3 times a week. I was at hers just as often. We prayed together, did Bible study together, talked about everything. Dreams, fears, relationships, family. She knew everything about me. I thought I knew everything about her. She became my sister. Not biological, but spiritual. In Black church culture, when you call someone sister, it means something. It's covenant. It's chosen family. It's trust deeper than friendship. Vanessa was my sister. I trusted her with my life. The retreat started Friday evening. We arrived at the Mountain Conference Center around 4 p.m. Beautiful facility, nestled in the hills, away from everything. Perfect place to encounter God. Vanessa and I were roommates. Room 318. 2 double beds. We unpacked, settled in, joined the other women in the main hall for the opening session. Pastor Michelle stood on stage with such authority and grace. She's 48 years old, been in ministry for 25 years, and when she speaks, you listen. She opened with prayer, then addressed all 200 of us packed into that conference room. Tonight, we begin a journey toward freedom. Some of you are carrying things you've never told anyone. Shame, guilt, secrets, sins. Pain you've buried so deep you've almost convinced yourself it doesn't exist. But it does exist. And it's eating you alive from the inside. This weekend, God is going to give you opportunities to bring those things into the light. To confess. To release. To be free. I'm not going to force anyone. This is voluntary. But I'm telling you, if you leave here Sunday without releasing what God is pressing you to release, you'll regret it. Freedom is on the other side of truth. Even when truth is painful, the room was silent. You could feel the weight of her words, feel the Holy Spirit already moving, already pressing on hearts, already preparing us for what was coming. We worshiped for an hour. Powerful worship. Women crying. Hands raised. Surrendering. I felt God's presence so strongly, felt Him pressing on my heart about my own struggles, my own pain, things I'd been carrying, things I needed to release. I looked over at Vanessa. She was worshiping too, tears streaming down her face, hands raised high. I thought she was having a breakthrough, thought God was touching her, had no idea what was really happening inside her. Saturday morning we woke up early, breakfast at 7 a.m., then morning session at 8:30. Pastor Michelle taught on forgiveness. Real forgiveness. The kind that costs something. The kind that requires you to release people who hurt you even when they don't deserve it. Even when they haven't apologized. Even when they haven't changed. She talked about how unforgiveness is a prison we build for ourselves. How we think we're punishing the person who hurt us by refusing to forgive, but really we're only punishing ourselves. During altar call, dozens of women went forward. Crying. Releasing. Forgiving people who weren't even in the room. Vanessa went forward. I went with her. We prayed together. She was weeping, asking God to help her forgive, help her let go, help her be free. I held her hand, prayed over her, supported her like sisters do. After morning session, we had free time until lunch. Vanessa and I walked the grounds, talked. She seemed heavy, burdened. I asked if she was okay. She said she was fine, just processing, just feeling convicted about some things. I didn't push. Figured she'd talk when she was ready. Saturday afternoon session was about truth and transparency. Pastor Michelle broke us into small groups of 10. Accountability circles. Safe spaces where we could share honestly without judgment. Each group had a facilitator. My group was led by Mother Sarah, a 70-year-old prayer warrior who'd been at Living Waters for 40 years. Vanessa was in my group. We sat in a circle in a small conference room. Mother Sarah opened with prayer, then said, "This is a safe space. What's shared here stays here. We're going to go around the circle. Each person will have a chance to share what God is laying on their heart. You don't have to share. But if God is prompting you, I encourage you to obey. There's freedom in confession. There's healing in honesty." 3 women shared. One confessed struggling with alcohol, drinking alone every night to numb pain from her divorce. One confessed having an abortion 15 years ago and never forgiving herself. One confessed being molested by her stepfather as a child and never telling anyone. Heavy confessions, painful confessions. But each time someone shared, the rest of us surrounded her, prayed over her, spoke life, spoke healing. The atmosphere was thick with God's presence. Then Vanessa raised her hand. "I'm proud of you," I thought. "Whatever you need to confess, whatever you're carrying, I'm here for you." I reached over and squeezed her hand. Encouraging, supportive. Mother Sarah nodded at Vanessa. "Go ahead, daughter. Speak your truth." Vanessa took a deep breath, looked around the circle. Her eyes landed on me and stayed on me. Something in her expression made my stomach drop. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. "Tamara," she said, her voice shaking, "I need to confess something. Something I've been carrying for 2 years. Something that's been eating me alive. Something I can't hold anymore." The room went quiet. Everyone was looking at me now, looking at Vanessa, sensing something significant was about to happen. I nodded slowly. "Okay. Whatever it is, I'm here for you." Vanessa started crying. Big, gut-wrenching sobs. "I've been lying to you for 2 years, about everything, about who I am, about why I came to Living Waters, about why I befriended you, about why I became your sister. None of it was real. None of it was genuine. It was all calculated, all planned, all intentional. Because I hate you, Tamara. I've hated you since the day we met." The words hit me like a physical blow. I pulled my hand away from hers. "What?" Vanessa kept talking, words tumbling out like she couldn't stop them. 4 years ago, before I came to Living Waters, I was engaged. His name was David. We'd been together for 3 years, planning our wedding, planning our life. I thought he was my future, until he met you. You were working at the bank where he had an account. He came in one day to handle some financial stuff, and he saw you, started talking to you, got your number, started texting you, started pursuing you, and you had no idea he was engaged, no idea he was mine. He lied to you, told you he was single, told you he was available, and you believed him, started dating him, fell for him, gave him everything. For 6 months he lived a double life, with me and with you, planning a wedding with me, dating you. I found out through his phone, saw the messages, saw the pictures, confronted him. He broke off our engagement, said he was in love with you, said what we had wasn't real, said you were his future. He left me, destroyed, humiliated, heartbroken, and chose you. My mind was racing. David. 4 years ago, I dated a David, met him at the bank where I worked, dated him for 6 months, until I found out he'd been lying about major things, until I discovered he wasn't who he said he was, until I broke up with him. David. The David Vanessa was talking about was my David. I didn't know he was engaged, I whispered. He told me he was single. I had no idea about you. I know, Vanessa said, tears still streaming. I know you didn't know. I know he lied to you too, but that didn't stop me from hating you, from blaming you. from wanting revenge. So when he and I finally ended completely, when I was picking up the pieces of my shattered life, I made a plan. I found out where you went to church. I started attending Living Waters. I positioned myself to meet you, to befriend you, to become your sister, to get close to you, close enough to hurt you the way I was hurt, close enough to destroy you from the inside. The room was completely silent now, all 8 other women staring. Mother Sarah's face was unreadable. I felt like I couldn't breathe, couldn't process what I was hearing. Vanessa continued, "For 2 years, I've been your friend, your sister, but it was all fake, all a lie. Every prayer we prayed together, every Bible study, every conversation, I was studying you, learning your weaknesses, looking for ways to hurt you. I sabotaged your relationship with Jerome last year. You remember? When he suddenly pulled away? When he said someone told him things about you that made him question if you were the right woman for him? That was me. I told him you were still in love with your ex. Told him you were using him as a rebound. Told him you weren't serious about marriage. All lies. But he believed me because I was your best friend. Your sister. Why would your sister lie about you? Oh my God. Jerome, the man I thought was my future. The man who suddenly became distant and cold. Who broke up with me out of nowhere saying he didn't think we were right for each other. Who said someone who cares about me told him things that concerned him. That was Vanessa. My sister destroyed my relationship. I also sabotaged your promotion at work last year, Vanessa said. You were up for team leader. You'd worked so hard. Deserved it. But I sent an anonymous email to your supervisor. Told them you'd been talking badly about the company. Told them you were looking for other jobs. Told them you weren't committed. They passed you over. Gave the promotion to someone else. That was me. The promotion. The team leader position I'd worked 3 years toward. The position they gave to someone with less experience. The position I lost because of mysterious concerns about my loyalty. Vanessa did that. I've done other things too, Vanessa continued, her voice breaking. Small things. Mean things. Gossiped about you to other women at church. Made you look bad. Made people question your character. All while smiling in your face. All while calling you sister. All while praying with you. I'm a monster, Tamara. I've been a monster for 2 years. And I can't do it anymore. I can't keep living this lie. I came to this retreat thinking I could keep pretending. But God won't let me. He's been dealing with me all weekend. Convicting me. Breaking me. Telling me to confess. Telling me to tell you the truth. So that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you the truth. I hate you. I've hated you. I've been trying to destroy you. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She collapsed, bent over in her chair, sobbing. The other women in the circle sat frozen, shocked, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say. I stood up. My whole body was shaking. You destroyed my relationship. You sabotaged my career. You turned people against me. All because of a man who lied to both of us? A man I dated for 6 months 4 years ago and haven't thought about since? Vanessa looked up at me. I know it's insane. I know it's evil. I know there's no excuse. But I was so hurt, so angry, so broken. And I blamed you. Even though logically I knew it wasn't your fault. Even though I knew he lied to you too. I still blamed you. And I wanted you to hurt like I hurt. I walked toward the door. I need to leave. I can't be in here. I can't be in this room with you. Mother Sarah stood up. Tamara, wait. Let's pray. Let's process this together. No, I said. I can't. Not right now. I need space. I need air. I need to not be near her. I left. Walked out of the conference room. Down the hallway. Out of the building. Into the mountain air. It was cold. Late October in the mountains. I didn't care. I kept walking. Into the woods. Down a path. Away from everyone. Away from everything. I walked for 30 minutes, mind spinning, processing, trying to understand. Vanessa, my sister, my best friend for 2 years, had been lying the entire time. had befriended me with the sole purpose of destroying me, had systematically sabotaged my life while pretending to love me. I thought about Jerome, how I'd cried for months after that breakup, how I'd questioned myself, wondered what I did wrong, wondered why he suddenly saw me differently. It wasn't me. It was Vanessa, poisoning him against me with lies. I thought about the promotion, how devastated I was, how I'd worked so hard, how I couldn't understand why they passed me over. It was Vanessa, sabotaging me from the shadows. I thought about all the times I'd confided in her, trusted her, shared my deepest fears and dreams and struggles, and she'd used all of it against me, weaponized my vulnerability, turned my honesty into ammunition. I sat down on a fallen log, and I screamed at the trees, at the sky, at God. Why? Why would you let this happen? Why would you let someone pretend to be my sister? Why would you let me be betrayed like this? I don't know how long I sat there. Could have been 20 minutes. Could have been an hour. But eventually, I heard footsteps. Someone was coming down the path. I looked up. It was Mother Sarah. She sat down next to me on the log. Didn't say anything at first. Just sat, present. Finally she spoke. That was one of the hardest things I've witnessed in 40 years of ministry. What that girl confessed. What she did to you. I'm so sorry, daughter. I don't know what to do, I said. I don't know how to process this. She was my sister. I trusted her with everything, and it was all fake. All a lie. She was trying to destroy me the whole time. Mother Sarah nodded. Yes, she was. And she succeeded in some ways. She destroyed your relationship. She sabotaged your career. She damaged your reputation. She hurt you deeply. But you know what she didn't destroy? She didn't destroy you. You're still here. Still standing. Still fighting. Still breathing. Still believing. She tried to take you out. And she failed. Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. But how do I forgive this? I asked. How do I forgive someone who systematically tried to ruin my life? Mother Sarah took my hand. You don't forgive because she deserves it. You forgive because you deserve freedom. Right now, she's confessed. She's released it. She's free. She did the hard work of bringing it into the light. But you're still carrying it. You're still bound to it. Still imprisoned by what she did. Until you forgive her, you're not free. She has power over you. Don't give her that power, Tamara. Take it back. Forgive her. Not for her. For you. I can't, I whispered. Not right now. It's too fresh. Too raw. Too painful. I understand, Mother Sarah said. Forgiveness is a process, not a moment. But I'm going to tell you something God just told me to tell you. Vanessa's confession wasn't just for her freedom. It was for yours too. For 2 years, you've been wondering why your relationship fell apart. Why you lost that promotion. Why people at church seemed distant. You blamed yourself. Questioned yourself. Doubted yourself. Thought something was wrong with you. But now you know the truth. It wasn't you. It was enemy attack. It was spiritual warfare. It was sabotage. And knowing that, that's freedom. Because now you can stop questioning yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop carrying blame that was never yours to carry. Tears started flowing. Real tears. Not anger tears. Grief tears. Release tears. You're right. I've been carrying so much. Wondering what's wrong with me. Why nothing works out. Why I keep getting knocked down. And it wasn't me. It was her. Working against me. Exactly. Mother Sarah said. And now that you know, you can heal. You can rebuild. You can move forward without that weight. But only if you forgive. Only if you release her. Only if you let God handle the revenge and the justice and the consequences. Can you do that? I don't know, I said honestly. But I want to. I want to be free. I want to move forward. I want to stop being a victim of what she did. Then come back with me, Mother Sarah said. Come back to the group. Face her. Tell her how you feel. And when you're ready, Even if it's not today, choose forgiveness. Choose freedom. Choose to let God fight this battle. We walked back together. Slowly. Silently. When we got back to the conference room, the other 8 women were still there. Still in the circle. Vanessa was still bent over, still crying. They'd all been praying, waiting, hoping I'd come back. I walked in, sat down in my chair. Everyone looked at me, waiting to see what I'd do, what I'd say. I looked at Vanessa. She looked up at me, eyes red and swollen, face full of shame and guilt and regret. I spoke. My voice was steady, stronger than I felt. You destroyed 2 years of my life, destroyed a relationship that could have been my future, destroyed a career opportunity I'd worked 3 years for, destroyed my reputation at a church I love, all because you were hurt, all because you blamed me for something I didn't even know I was part of. That's evil. That's demonic. That's unforgivable by human standards. Vanessa nodded, accepting every word. I know. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. I just needed you to know the truth. But, I continued, as much as I want to hate you right now, as much as I want revenge, as much as I want you to hurt the way I'm hurting, I know that's not what God wants. God wants me to forgive, to release, to let him handle this. And I don't want to. Everything in me wants to destroy you the way you tried to destroy me. But that's not freedom. That's just more chains, more prison, more bondage. So I'm making a choice right now, not because I feel it, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve freedom. I choose to forgive you. I release you. I release what you did. I release the anger, the hurt, the betrayal. I'm giving it all to God, and I'm choosing to walk forward free. The room erupted. Women started crying, praising God. Mother Sarah stood up and started praying over both of us, over me, over Vanessa, over the broken trust, over the pain, over the future. Other women joined, surrounded us, laid hands on us, prayed powerful prayers of healing and restoration and breakthrough. Vanessa was weeping uncontrollably, thanking me, apologizing over and over. I forgive you, I kept saying, not because I feel it yet, but because I choose it. I forgive you. After the prayer session ended, Vanessa and I talked privately, outside, away from the group. She told me everything. How David had broken her heart, how she'd spiraled into depression and bitterness, how she'd planned for months to infiltrate my life, how every friendship moment was calculated, how guilty she'd felt but convinced herself I deserved it, how God had been convicting her for months, but she'd ignored it, until this retreat, until Friday night when Pastor Michelle said freedom is on the other side of truth, until God wouldn't let her sleep Friday night, wouldn't let her worship Saturday morning without dealing with her sin, wouldn't let her participate in the transparency circle without confessing. I listened, processed, asked questions, tried to understand, and slowly, piece by piece, moment by moment, I felt the anger loosening, felt the bitterness releasing, felt forgiveness taking root. We're not going to be sisters anymore, I told her. I can't trust you, can't be close to you. Not after this. Maybe someday. But not now. Not for a long time. But I do forgive you, and I do release you, and I do hope you heal. Hope you find real freedom. Hope you find real peace. Vanessa nodded. I understand. I don't expect friendship. I don't expect trust. I just wanted you to know the truth. Wanted to stop living a lie. Wanted to give you back your peace by telling you it was never your fault. We went back inside. Rejoined the retreat. The rest of Saturday and Sunday were powerful. More worship. More teaching. More breakthrough. Word spread about what happened in our group. About Vanessa's confession. About my forgiveness. Women kept coming up to me, saying they were inspired, saying they needed to forgive people too, saying my response challenged them, made them rethink their own unforgiveness. Sunday morning, the final session, Pastor Michelle called me to the stage. I didn't know this was coming, didn't expect it, But she asked me to share what happened, share the story, share the forgiveness. I was nervous, scared, but I obeyed. I stood in front of 200 women and told them everything. About Vanessa's confession, about the 2 years of sabotage, about the destroyed relationship and career and reputation, about the pain and betrayal and anger, but also about the choice to forgive, about how forgiveness isn't about feelings, about how it's about freedom, about how holding on to unforgiveness only hurts us, about how God can heal what seems impossible to heal. When I finished, women were standing, applauding, crying, worshiping. Pastor Michelle hugged me, prayed over me, spoke prophecy over my life, declared restoration, declared that everything the enemy stole would be returned double, declared that my latter days would be greater than my former days. I believed her. For the first time in 2 years, I felt hope, real hope, not based on circumstances, but based on God's faithfulness. 6 months after the retreat, things started changing. I was promoted at work, not to team leader, to department manager, a position 3 levels higher than I'd been pursuing, with a $20,000 raise. My supervisor said they'd been watching me for months, impressed with my resilience, my integrity, my attitude, despite being passed over before. They wanted me in leadership. 8 months after the retreat, I met someone. His name was Emmanuel. We met at a community event Living Waters hosted. He was visiting from another church, asked for my number, started calling, started taking me to dinner, started pursuing me with intention and honesty and transparency. He knew about my past, about Jerome, about David, about Vanessa. I told him everything early on. Didn't want to hide anything. Didn't want surprises. He said, "I'm not them. I'm going to prove that to you every single day." And he did. 1 year after the retreat, Emmanuel proposed. Asked me to marry him. Said I was the woman he'd been praying for. Said God told him I was his wife. Said he wanted to spend his life proving to me what real love looks like. I said yes. Vanessa left Living Waters after the retreat. Couldn't face the church. Couldn't face me. Couldn't handle the shame and consequences of what she'd done. I heard she moved to another city. Started counseling. Started real healing. Started dealing with the bitterness and brokenness she'd been carrying. I prayed for her, not out of obligation, but out of genuine hope for her freedom. 18 months after the retreat, Emmanuel and I got married. At Living Waters. Pastor Michelle officiated. Mother Sarah was there, crying, celebrating. The women from my accountability circle were there. The women who'd witnessed Vanessa's confession and my forgiveness. They surrounded me on my wedding day, prayed over me, celebrated with me, reminded me that this was the restoration God promised. 2 years after the retreat, Emmanuel and I were expecting our first baby. Life was full, beautiful, blessed. I was leading the praise dance ministry at Living Waters, training new dancers, pouring into younger women, sharing my testimony of betrayal and forgiveness and restoration, helping others walk through their own pain. One Sunday after service, a woman approached me, young, maybe 25, eyes full of pain. She said, "I heard your story, about what your friend did to you, about how you forgave her. I need to know how you did it, because someone hurt me, and I don't know if I can forgive. I don't know if I want to forgive, but I also don't want to stay stuck in this pain." I took her hand, invited her to coffee, shared my journey, told her forgiveness is a process, told her it starts with a choice, even when you don't feel it, even when they don't deserve it, even when it seems impossible. You choose it, and then you choose it again, and again, and again, until one day you realize the anger is gone, the bitterness is gone, the pain is still there, but it doesn't control you anymore. That's freedom. That's what forgiveness gives you. She started crying. I want that. I want freedom. I want to be healed. Then choose it, I said. Right here. Right now. Make the choice. And then keep making it. God will do the rest. He'll heal your heart. He'll restore what was lost. He'll give you beauty for ashes. but it starts with you choosing to release, choosing to let go, choosing to forgive. We prayed together right there in the church parking lot. She chose forgiveness, released the person who hurt her, released the pain, released the bitterness, and I watched her face change, watched the weight lift, watched freedom begin. Today, 3 years after that retreat, I'm 36 years old, married to an incredible man who loves God and loves me well, mother to a 1-year-old son named Isaiah, department manager making 6 figures, leading praise dance at Living Waters, mentoring dozens of young women, living in complete freedom from the betrayal that once defined my life. Vanessa and I aren't friends, aren't sisters, haven't spoken since the retreat. But I pray for her. Hope she's found healing. Hope she's found freedom. Hope she's learned to forgive herself the way I forgave her. Not because what she did was okay, but because unforgiveness imprisons everyone involved. People ask me sometimes how I forgave her, how I moved past such deep betrayal, how I trusted again, how I loved again, how I rebuilt, and I tell them the truth. I couldn't do it on my own. I couldn't manufacture forgiveness in my own strength, but God could. God gave me the grace to choose forgiveness, even when I didn't feel it. And then God did the supernatural work of healing my heart, restoring what was stolen, redeeming my story, turning my pain into purpose. At our church women's retreat, my sister confessed everything. Confessed 2 years of calculated sabotage, 2 years of lies disguised as love, 2 years of systematic destruction while calling me sister. And in that confession, God set us both free. He freed her from the burden of living a lie, and he freed me from the prison of blame and doubt and self-questioning. The retreat was called Breaking Chains, and that's exactly what happened. Chains broke. Truth emerged. Forgiveness flowed. Healing began. And 3 years later, I'm walking in a level of freedom I never thought possible. Not because the betrayal didn't hurt, not because what she did was okay, but because I chose to let God handle it, chose to forgive, chose to release, chose freedom over revenge, and God honored that choice by restoring everything the enemy tried to steal. At our church women's retreat, my sister confessed everything, and in her confession, God gave me back my life. And subscribe for true stories about Black women who chose forgiveness and found freedom. Hit like if you believe God restores what the enemy steals. Comment: have you ever had to forgive someone who systematically betrayed you? How did you walk through it? Remember, forgiveness isn't about the person who hurt you. It's about the freedom you deserve. See you in the next story.